Mrs. Saro and her son came to the police station to report her son-in-law. According to his testimony in the police, his son named Rahmi has disappeared and cannot be contacted for a year. Whereas the son-in-law always dodges when invited to communicate. Great suspicion, the son-in-law behind the disappearance of Rahmi. The case of Rahmi's disappearance had been reported 7 months ago, but there was no development. At night, in the middle of the plantation area, a garden keeper went around examining his plants. Right at midnight, the sound of crying women around the plantation area. Without thinking, the keeper immediately ran away. And a few days later, word got out. Found a human framework in the plantation area. Mrs. Saro and her son, who heard the rumors, immediately went to the place to find the skeleton. And sure enough, the clothes worn by the framework. Clearly the clothes that Rahmi had worn. 3 days later, the son-in-law was arrested by the police and secured. The police also interrogated the man. A year ago. The household of Rahmi and her husband is not getting along. They often quarreled about Gono treasures if they divorced later. Rahmi asked 70% of Gono Guinea assets in the form of shop houses, cars, and also cash for him. Because of the beginning of marriage, Rahmi was the one who gave business capital for her husband to work. Hearing that the husband did not accept, because he felt he was the one who worked until their efforts became big and successful. Three days after the big fight, Rahmi is known to be lost and can no longer be contacted by her family. Rahmi's family lost contact with him for almost a year. Until finally, 7 months later. News came that Rahmi died, and his body was found buried unnaturally in a plantation owned by residents. Indy the forensic doctor internship. Seriously, examine the frame that has rotted before him. Indicated several machete slash wounds in his neck and body. Indy enters another dimension. In the morning, the beginning of the incident. The husband has tied Rahmi's hands and feet. The husband forced Rahmi to stamp finger in a letter, which contains bequeathed all the property they have to the husband. Of course, Rahmi refused and rebelled with all his might. Then came the three friends of her husband. They brought a machete. The three people held Rahmi's legs. Hands and head so as not to rebel. Rahmi, as hard as Rahmi, clenched his hands. So that the husband could not take the thumb stamp. Because I was so annoyed, the husband cut Rahmi's hand until it was cut off. And the finger stamp he finally got. While Rahmi lay in pain on the floor without thanking the husband. Immediately executed his own wife. Rahmi's body was entered into a sack. then buried in an abandoned plantation. Indy returns to the real-world dimension. The figure of the spirit of Rahmi, who was standing beside him. The husband who initially still dodged Rahmi's death. But apparently the three friends who helped the murder admitted their actions, even told in detail. Where the execution incident occurred, the three people admitted that they could not live in peace because Rahmi's spirits always haunted them every day. Leah seemed to really enjoy her job as a mini-market employee. Today, many visitors come. Today, Ego is taking a day off from his duties. He just wanted to relax on his leaves. While enjoying the fresh air. Customers come in turn to the cashier's table. Leah and Ego know each other. They are neighbors in one complex. Without awkward, they chatted, asking for news of each other. few hours passed. The time showed it was night. Time Leah came home and closed her mini market. A few steps when he came out, softly heard the sound of crying someone asking for help. Leah turned towards the alley, which was quite quiet. The voice of asking for help was heard again. Leah slowly walked to the lonely alley. He stepped while checking the situation and occasionally confirmed what he heard. His steps increasingly entered the quiet alley. Suddenly, someone hit him from behind. Leah immediately fainted. Some time passed. Leah woke up. She was in a closed room and stuffy. His head felt very heavy while remembering what happened to him. Leah stood up and balanced her body. Seeing a slightly open blue door, he slowly approached the door. Seen a man cooking in the kitchen. Leah slowly came out of the room. And the man turned to him. The man kindly told Leah to sit and invite her to eat together. But Leah just paused. Then she saw around. She saw her cell phone lying on the table. Not far from she stood. Leah quickly took the cell phone. And pressed someone's number. But the strange man immediately threw a cell phone that Leah held until he fell. The strange man attacked Leah. Tried to hit her. Suddenly a knife was stuck in Leah. Leah also screamed in pain. Finally, Leah ran away and hid back behind the stuffy room, then locked the door. Foreign men tried to break the door hard, but unsuccessful. While the number Leah called earlier was the neighbor number earlier. Seeing his cell phone rang, but when the call was received, but no one spoke. In the middle of holding back the pain, suddenly the AirPod fell. Leah immediately used it. And it was true that the telephone call was still connected. For a moment about to be turned off, Leah's voice was heard. Ask for help softly. Leah slowly explained her condition, which was being kidnapped by someone, and did not know its existence. While Ego, the neighbor, quickly tracked the location of Leah's cell phone is located. The location is in an apartment, which is not far from where he is. While the kidnapper still laughed, while continuing his cooking. While Leah tried to remain calm while holding back pain in her thighs. Not long after the cooking was cooked, the kidnapper prepared the food very neatly on the table. While Ego still continues to look for Leah's whereabouts. Then he took something, a small bottle that read poison. Then the kidnapper sprinkled the poison into all the food he cooked earlier. foreign man forced Leah to get out. Carry a chainsaw and threatened to drag her out. Leah also tried to hold the door so she could not open. Suddenly, a knock on the door. Then the kidnapper approached the door. And peeked from the hole. Seeing the man was standing at the door and claimed to be an apartment security officer. The kidnapper slowly unlocked his house and opened the door. Finally, Ego made it in. He looked around the room while, if there was something suspicious. Suddenly, the foreign man came while turning on the chainsaw and quickly attacked Ego. Ego also managed to avoid. The fight was inevitable. Until finally, the kidnapper was successfully arrested. And Leah survived. And according to information from the perpetrators, it turns out he has several times kidnapped and killed all the victims by poisoning, then threw away their bodies in the cliffs of the forest.